Hello my dear fashion enthusiasts. I'm delighted to have you back as we discover together the Moschino Fall Winter 2026 fashion show, presented during Milan Fashion Week. Today Adrian Appiolaza delivers an important proposal that helps us understand the recent evolution of the house. Instead of relying solely on Moschino's most recognizable symbols, he chooses to infuse something more personal, more autobiographical, drawing from an Argentine memory shaped by nostalgia, popular imagery, and strongly asserted cultural references. From the very first looks, it becomes clear that this show is not about constructing a single ideal woman or a perfectly uniform silhouette. Rather, it presents a gallery of characters, almost like scenes unfolding on a theatrical stage. You will see very different archetypes coexist: bourgeois silhouettes, references to a bus driver, football supporters, evocations of the gaucho, and even a sensuality linked to the world of tango. This diversity brings a great deal of life to the runway and recalls the free and irreverent spirit that has always defined Moschino. But here, this fantasy takes on a much more South American tone, and also a more intimate one. One of the most interesting elements of the show is the appearance of filete porteño, this Argentine decorative language recognizable for its ornamental curves and almost exuberant character. It appears on flared dresses and outerwear, and it interacts quite naturally with the house's historical theatricality. It's a visual encounter that works well, because it never feels like a superficial reference. On the contrary, you can sense that the designer is trying to demonstrate that Moschino's identity can absorb other cultures without completely losing its essence. Some silhouettes place greater emphasis on performance. Tango dresses, with their movement and dramatic presence, introduce a very visible sensual tension. Alongside them, gaucho-inspired pieces bring a more structured rural romanticism, while football-related motifs inject a direct and popular energy. This combination creates a very lively runway, where garments sometimes become costume, sometimes commentary, sometimes staged memory. Accessories also play an essential role. At Moschino, they often carry an ironic or conceptual function, and here that principle is extended through pieces that tell almost as much as the garments themselves. In fact, some bags and diverted objects immediately capture attention. They reinforce the idea that the show is less about presenting a coherent wardrobe and more about expressing an emotional statement. You can also perceive a graphic reflection on female figures, with a possible link between Moschino's cartoon heritage and more irreverent, engaged Argentine references. This approach allows the house's fantasy to be reinterpreted, not only as a visual game, but also as a form of cultural commentary. Personally, I find that the show truly succeeds in conveying emotion. There is pride, memory, and a sincere desire to share a national imagination without making it overly polished. And that is precisely what gives it its strength. However, I also think that this abundance of references sometimes weakens the continuity of the silhouettes. At certain moments, character-driven styling takes precedence over the precision of proportions or the clarity of a cohesive fall-winter collection. This is therefore a show that I find touching, bold, and very lively, but also slightly uneven in its construction. Its strengths are clear: a strong emotional identity, confident cultural references, striking accessories, and a real sense of creative freedom. Its weakness, in my opinion, lies in a structural coherence that is sometimes less convincing. I'll now let you fully enjoy the rest of the show and observe all these details for yourself. Enjoy the viewing, and thank you very much for sharing this fashion moment with me. Feel free to let me know in the comments what you think of Adrian Appiolaza's proposal for Moschino. Take care, and see you very soon for another runway analysis. Goodbye.